In April, over 100,000 voters in Brooklyn were inexplicably purged from the voter rolls.
Many Brooklyn residents who thought they were registered showed up to vote, only to find their names were not on the list.
New York Mayor Bill de Blasio calling for an investigation.
Some chalked it up to incompetency.
The incompetence of the Board of Elections puts a cloud over these results, and it's time that we clean up this mess.
But a deeper dive has found the purge might have been a bit more sinister. Sinister is code for racist.
The purge targets the poor and the innocent.
In purge election year, everyone has the right to murder. But in this election year, more than 120,000 Brooklynites lost their right to vote. The most common last names of those purged in Brooklyn have some similarities. You have Santiago, you have Soto and Vega, Rivera, Colon, Torres, Ortiz. You see where this is going. You might be thinking that makes sense. Brooklyn has a high concentration of Hispanic voters. Not so fast. According to WNYC, 13.9% of voters in Hispanic majority districts were purged, while only 8.7% of voters in other districts were purged.
Overall, our analysis shows that people with Hispanic last names were purged at a rate 60% higher than all other groups.
So did the purge deliberately target minorities? Well, it wouldn't be the first time in recent memory that someone was accused of racially biased voter suppression. The Republican National Committee was accused of something called voter caging in 1981, 1986, and 2004.
Voter caging refers to the practice of sending direct mail to addresses on the voter rolls, compiling a list of addresses from which the mail is returned undelivered, and using that list to purge or challenge voters' registration.
In many of these cases, the mail was sent to predominantly black communities, which historically leaned Democratic. This year, voters in Ohio were purged if they hadn't voted in an election since 2008. Which disproportionately affects Democrats and people living in lower-income neighborhoods.
The hardest hit tend to be home to lower-income African Americans, who Clinton is counting on in her likely battle with Donald Trump.
It turns out voter rolls across the country are pretty rough in general. In 2012, Pew found that 12.5% of active registrations were invalid, and 1.8 million active voters couldn't vote at all because they were dead. Now, we can't say for certain that the voting purges in Brooklyn were deliberately fraudulent, but a federal investigation is underway. Voting purges might not be a horror movie, but that doesn't mean they're not scary. This is your mic check.